Yes, family greetings to the I them love and light energies. Give thanks to life, give thanks to the source. Yeah, man, so as I them can sip on the subtitle, the words of Endubsar, Master Scribe saying. So this is in continuation after the introduction of the last book of Enki. Right? So the first thing I'm gonna do was a little synapse about the whole book in our sense. And then now me read out the introduction of the book, one previous video before this one, yeah. And now I'm going to talk about this brethren here, named Endubsar, for him story where I see up front, same way. And to a go on, you can see says this brethren here, him is a master scribe, said to be the son of Eridu city. So this brethren here now story is much like unto Enoch's story and Ezekiel's story. You're going to hear the similarities within. So this brethren was someone to take down some words and some messages, and we are getting a theme story right about now. See? So the words of Endubsar, master scribe, son of the Eridu city, servant of the Lord Enki, great God. In the 7th year after the great calamity, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day, I was summoned by my master, the Lord Enki, great God, benevolent, fashioner of mankind, omnipotent and merciful. I was among the remnants of Eridu that escaped to the arid steppe, just as the evil wind was near the city. And I wandered off into the wilderness to seek withered twigs for firewood. And I looked, and lo and behold, a whirlwind came out of the south. There was a reddish brilliance about it, and it made no sound. And as it reached the ground, 4 straight feet spread out from its belly, and the brilliance disappeared. And I threw myself to the ground and prostrated myself, for I knew this was some form of divine vision. And when I lifted my eyes, there were 2 divine emissaries standing near me, and they had the faces of men, and their garments were sparkling like burnished brass. And they called me by my name and spoke to me, saying, You are summoned by the great God, Lord Enki. Fear not, for you are blessed. And we are here to take you aloft and carry you unto his retreat in the land of Magan, on the island amidst the river of Magan, or Magan, where the sluices are. And as they spoke, the whirlwind lifted itself as a fiery chariot, and I was gone. Foop. And they took me by my hands, each one grasping me by one hand, and they lifted me and carried me swiftly between the earth and the heavens. As the eagle soars, I could see the land and the waters and the plains and the mountains. And they let me down on the island at the gateway of the great God abode. And the moment they let go of my hands, a brilliance I have never seen before engulfed me and overwhelmed me, and I collapsed on the ground as though void of the spirit of life. My life senses returned to me as if awakened from the deepest sleep by the sound of calling of my name. I was in some kind of enclosure. It was dark, but there was also an aurora. Then my name was called again by the deepest of voices, and although I could not hear it, I could not tell whence the voice came, nor could I see whoever it was that spoke, and I said, Here I am. Alright. Then the voice said to me, Endubsar, offspring of Adapa, I have chosen you to be my scribe, that you write down my words on the tablets. And all at once there appeared a glowing in one part of the enclosure. And I saw a place arranged like a scribal workplace, a scribe's table and a scribe's stool. And there were finely shaped stones upon the table, but I saw no clay tablets, nor containers of wet clay. And there lay upon the table only one stylus, and it glistened in the glowing as no reed stylus ever did. And the voice spoke up again, saying, Endubsar, son of Iridu city, my faithful servant, I am your Lord Enki, and I have summoned you to write down my words, for I am much distraught by what has befallen, right? At page 7, so page 8, no attack, no war, go on. So mankind by the great calamity, it is my wish to record the true course of events, to let gods and men alike know that my hands are clean. Not since the great deluge has such a calamity befallen the earth and the gods of the earthlings, but the great deluge was destined to happen. Not so the great calamity, this one 7 years ago, need not have happened. It could have been prevented, and I, Enki, did all I could to prevent it. Alas, I failed, and was it fate or was it destiny? In the future shall it be judged, for at the end of days, a day of judgment there shall be. On that day the earth shall quake, and the rivers shall change course, and there shall be darkness at noon, and a fire in the heavens in the night. The day of the returning celestial God will it be, and who shall survive, and who would perish? Who shall be rewarded, and who will be punished? Gods and men alike. On that day it shall be discovered for what shall come to pass. By what had passed shall be determined, and by what was destined shall in a cycle be repeated. And what was fated, and only by the heart's will, occurring for good, shall for judgment come. The voice fell silent, then the great voice spoke up again, saying, It is for this reason that I will tell the true account of the beginnings, and of the prior times, and of the olden times. For in the past the future lies hidden. For 40 days and 40 nights shall I speak, and you will write. 40 shall be the count of days, and the nights of your task here. For 40 is my sacred number among the gods. For 40 days and 40 nights you shall neither eat nor drink. Only this once of bread and water you will partake, and it shall sustain you for the duration of your task. And the voice paused, and all at once there appeared a glowing in another part of the enclosure. And I saw a table, and upon it a plate and a cup. And I rose up thereof, and there was bread on the plate, and water in the cup. And the voice of the great Lord Enki spoke up again, saying, Endubsar, eat the bread and drink the water, and be sustained for 40 days and 40 nights. And I did as I was directed thereafter. The voice directed me to sit myself at the scribal table, and the glow in there intensified. I could see neither door nor a picture where I was, yet the glowing was as strong as the midday sun. And the voice said, Endubsar, the scribe, what do you see? And I looked and saw the glowing ray upon the table and the stones and the stylus. And I said, I see stone tablets, and their hue is blue as pure as the sky. And I see a stylus as I have never seen before. Its stem is unlike in a reed, and its tip shaped like an eagle's talon. And the voice said, These are the tablets upon which you shall inscribe my words. By my wish, they have been cut of the finest lapis lazuli, each with 2 smooth faces provided. And the stylus you see is a god's handiwork. Its handle made of electrum, and its tip of divine crystal. It shall firmly sit or fit in your hand, and what you shall engrave with it shall be as easy as marking upon wet clay. In 2 columns you shall inscribe the front face. In 2 columns you shall inscribe the back of each stone tablets. Do not deviate from my words and my utterances. And there was a pausing, and I touched one of the stones, and the surface thereof felt like smooth skin, soft to the touch. And I picked up the holy stylus, and it felt like a feather in my hand. And then the great God Enki began to speak, and I began to write down his words exactly as he had spoken them. At times his voice was strong, right? And at other times his voice was almost a whisper. At times there was joy or pride in his voice, and another time there were pain and agony. And as one tablet was inscribed on all his faces, I took another to continue. And when the final words were spoken, the great God paused, and I could hear a great sigh. And he said, Endubsar, my servant, for 40 days and 40 nights you have faithfully recorded my words. Your task here is completed. Now take hold of another tablet, and on it you shall write your attestation. And at the end thereof, as a witness, mark it with your seal. And take the tablet and put it together with the other tablets in the divine chest. For at a designated time, chosen ones shall come hither, and they shall find the chest and the tablets, and they shall learn all that I have dictated to you, and the true account of the beginnings, and the prior times, and the olden times. And the great calamity shall henceforth be known as the words of the Lord Enki, and it shall be a book of witnessing of the past, and a book of foretelling the future. For the future in the past lies, and the first the future in the past lies, and the first things shall also be the last things. And there was a pause, and I took the tablets and I put them one by one in their correct order in the chest. And the chest was made of acacia wood, and it was inlaid with gold on the outside. And the voice of the Lord said, Now close the chest, cover and fasten its lock. And I did as directed. And there was another pause, and my Lord Enki said, As for you, Endubsar, with a great God you have spoken. And though you have not seen me, in my presence you have been. Therefore you are blessed, and my spokesman to the people you shall be. You shall bring them to be righteous. You shall admonish them to be righteous. For in that lies a good thing and long life. And you shall comfort them for 70 years. For after 70 years the cities will be rebuilt, and the crops shall sprout again. And there will be peace, but there will be also wars. New nations will become mighty. Kingdoms shall rise and fall. The olden God shall step aside, and the new God shall decree the fate. But at the end of days, destiny shall prevail. And enough that future shall foretold in my words about the past of all that Endubsar to the people you shall tell. And there was a pause and a silence. And I, Endubsar, bowed down to the ground and said, But how will I know what to say? And the voice of the Lord Enki said, The signs will be in the heavens, and the words to utter shall come to you in dreams and in visions. And after you, there will be other chosen prophets. And in the end, there will be a new earth and a new heaven. For the prophets will be no more needed. And then there was silence, and the auroras were extinguished, and the spirit left me. And when I regained my senses, I was in the fields outside Eridu, seal of Endubsar, master scribe. So that at page 9, me just seal up there, so. Now, as well you can see that little vibration there with them Endubsar. When I try to show you, say now, after the same calamity there, where when me I tell you, say in a 4,000, in the year 4,000, in 4,000 years ago, I should say them say, this great calamity they take earth. And them I show you, say, a nuclear bomb, they kick off. Within the Anunnaki story now, we might get a different scenario. So when I say happen now, in the 70 after the great calamity now, this brother now named Endubsar now, say, man, out in the jungle, like, take up some twigs, like for catching fire and all of that. And him say a whirlwind come from out of the sky with a reddish brilliance. And him a tell you say, 4 straight feet come out from under its belly. And when it land on the ground, the brilliance, which would have been the fireworks or the engine or was some farm or something, but power it. Him say that stop. Him say that disappear now, but we know say stop. Engine lock off, key take out. 2 brethren know him say flick out of it. Well, I really flick out. 2 brethren walk out to him, man. Say brethren must say, watch ya, fear not thyself. Him still I tell us say the 2 brethren have faces of men, and their garments were sparkling like burnished brass. So all this burn brass, we hear this story in the Bible saying we know about man feet as burn brass, and we know what color burn brass is. Not a Caucasian look. That are the first thing you have to know. See? Then him still I tell us say they are the faces of men. In the Bible now, Mass King James, him tell you about them have 4 faces and them have wings, and now they look like monster and one bag or something. But what you for know? You see this a story, yeah? And this every other story come from. This are the blueprint. Only thing that it was written in cuneiform writing. And this version you know, Zacharias teaching, retranslate it, and by the powers of the Most High, we have it available. If you see the truth and not what Mass James the First and John D and Vatican and the whole of them and Queen Elizabeth and the whole of them put together and give we. Them can't tell you say, I know this them get it from. Because up to when we're reading even the introduction, them I tell you say, theologians and scholars have seen much similarities. You understand? Within this thing. So this is not like say, them not see say, oh you got, so you say theologians and scholars see a similarity, right? Between them thing, you know. Which one you, with your how much subjects where your people and ways for gonna make you get now. Right? If them say scholars and theologians alike no recognize that the biblical tales of creation of Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden, the Deluge, the Tower of Babel were based on texts written down millennia earlier in Mesopotamia, especially by the Sumerians, and they in turn clearly stated that they obtain their knowledge. These are the Sumerians that says no, no. Said they obtain their knowledge of past events. Right? Even from a time before them did exist. Can remember say when the Anunnaki did come here, we were Homo habilis, Homo erectus. So you just say, when we get them the knowledge, they might show you say the Anunnaki them tell me. And I just simple say it go. So me want to know if you're gonna make. Put aside say them are evil. Put aside say the Vatican and the Pope and them evil, right? But let's put that aside for a second. You will feel say now, if these people we start language and arts and all form of creativity where we are used to today. I'm gonna give you a story. See? And as they say, as a year not for them story and history about the Sumerians, in a year no war, not for them history. Then now you are prefer take the story from these goons, yeah. We have secret archive place underground in a Vatican City. And all of the things them in a museum hide where them know poor people can't pay for going to a museum. So you have to see the trick, family, you know what I mean? It's not hard. The whole heap of chloride, you're not supposed, the whole little chloride you drink not supposed to make you full that much. So I forget them overstanding there. The virgin still a show you how he was summoned to the heavens and he must show you say, boy, he was given this you must say, boy, first him ever see one stylus like this. So stylus are kind of for them thing them use and write. And the boss, Lord Enki make him know and say, this a stylus, yeah, you know, no normal thing, an electric pen that you have in your hand right there now, you know. Crystal, they are the tip of it, you know. So when you put it over the clay, it does zzz. Eh? So not for overstand what I'm going from, because it's not really hard, you know, it's not really hard. Even the story about 40 days and 40 nights. How comes eating at this too? But I just said there first. Who for tell if not him are the same? Who for tell this Enoch story and this Elijah story where look like so the whole of them are derived from this Endubsar story based upon what I just read. Cause Ezekiel tell you say, you know, him did say this thing here come out of the heavens, you know. And when it land on him and describe the feet, where it have, and when it move in this direction and move in that direction. He not know say him go walk amongst God and God give him some whole heap of things. And him write it down for come tell people. So you can see similarities, you know. But you know Babylon is, you know, them way there. So after this book, you know, we're going to the first tablet. You know? And I can give you a synopsis of the first tablet as me there look on it. Here we're going on the first tablet now. See? They must say lamentation over the desolation of Sumer. That of the Sumerian city. How the gods fled their cities as the nuclear cloud spread. The debates in the council of the gods. The fateful decision to unleash the weapons of terror. This is 4,000 years ago me talking. Alright. The origin of the gods and the awesome weapons on Nibiru. Right? Nibiru's north-south wars, the unification and the dynastic rules. Nibiru's place in the solar system. And our dwindling atmosphere caused climate changes. An effort to obtain gold to shield the atmosphere failed. Alelu, a usurper, uses nuclear weapon to stir volcanic gases. Anu, a dynastic heir, disposes Alelu. Alelu steals a spacecraft and escapes from Nibiru. Backside. Let me take bad things like that, yeah. That was like bad things like that when you hear what spacecraft. Man, I talk about spacecraft about thousands of years ago. You know, must say a lie, this and a foolishness. But as I tell you, no new under the sun. I'm gonna have to repeat myself with all these things I say. I do my videos them about the creation of our solar system. I have videos about who are the Anunnaki and all of that. So I have to really go back to a certain thing. I just try and give you an idea where we're going on next. So as I say now, this was just the words of Endubsar from the last book of Enki, and we're going to seal it up right now. And as I tell them, you can do no one personal research at all times. Give thanks to life, love and light energies. Rastafari.